discussed. And as I mentioned earlier, when I introduced myself to Annie, I've been in Toastmasters for about 12 years. And the mentor program, or mentorship program, falls under the what do you call it? Auspices, thank you, of the VP of Education, which is Janet. However, the VP of Education is a very challenging job. And so mentorship is like the orphan. So over the years, I've been looking at mentorship and trying different things. And today I'd like to discuss with you some aspects of how I believe we can continue with mentorship in Norvic and improve it. As you may see, it says, harness the power of mentoring. I got that title from a Toastmasters magazine. Now, every month we get a magazine from Toastmasters. And about approximately a year ago, there was an excellent article. It was written about a Canadian organization, Toastmasters organization in Ottawa. And it was a group, particularly of women, because it was, Toastmasters Club was organized by the university program in Ottawa, which was assisting women to improve their business skills, and mentorship became a very big part of that group. And what they did was phenomenal. It was an outstanding article, and there was some items in there I think we can adapt, and I would like to propose some of those suggestions as well. Now, I mentioned harness the power of mentoring. So I'm going to ask you, what do you think is the power of mentoring, working with a mentor? Any thoughts? What makes mentoring powerful? Why should we have mentors? Janet?
I think Mina said it, the power of the relationship.
Relationship. The word of the day. Thank you. It is building a relationship for sure with someone else. But I don't think relationship is the only aspect of why it's powerful. Why would you or I benefit from having a mentor or for assisting someone? What do you think mentorship can do for us?
Mentorship should recognize the person you are mentoring, their strengths and their non-strengths, and build on their strengths, because that's why they joined this club. So you recognize their needs and desires, and that's their focus, the mentor's focus.
To assist them to get their goals that they, to achieve the reasons and the goals that they joined our club, or joined Toastmasters. Yes, Paul?
I found that mentoring has helped me focus on a specific project that makes me work at something that I took for granted, and I think we all have a tendency to do that. And then also, I like the critique of the club saying, you know, if you would have maybe done it this way, and it just gives you more of an inner power to look at doing something a little different than your normal way of, you know, deciding what to do. So I think that's why mentors, like right now I'm working on something and I definitely need a mentor, without a doubt. I cannot do that project alone, cannot.
I think you said some magic words. I cannot do this alone. I think that there's more power in mentoring alone, what you just said. We can do so little. Together, we can do so much. Let's really emphasize what you just said. Any other thoughts about mentorship? Maybe you've had some experience, or maybe you wish you had a mentor. Any other thoughts? I like asking Patty, because she's sitting there thinking. Patty, any thoughts?
I think to have a mentor is to have a base in a way, to be encouraging but challenging as well, to assist you in
Harrison.
The opportunity of being a mentor is a big one as well, because it gives me the opportunity to use others the experience that I have, and to realize what it is, and to be able to pass it on to somebody else. And I find as a mentor that I learn from the person I'm mentoring as well as mentoring them. So I really believe it goes both ways.
Thank you for that, because I totally agree. When we're involved in the relationship with a mentor slash mentee, goes both ways. We both learn from each other. So those are some of the reasons why mentorship can be powerful. Now, some other individuals that you know had mentors. For example, Elvis Presley was mentored by Hank Snow. Us elderly people in this will probably know who Hank Snow is. Not everybody would know. Mina probably never heard of Hank Snow. But that's fine. All you might have heard of Elvis Presley and to know he had a mentor. And Bill Gates, who most of you probably do know, had a mentor who he had met in his early travels, Dr. Ed Roberts. And Steve Jobs actually had more than one mentor, but one of his mentors was Andy Grove, who, as some of you may know, is the man who made Intel, who made the computer chips, a very, very large, powerful company. He mentored Steve Jobs, and of course the famous Harry Potter had Professor Dumbledore, as some of you may know. So mentoring has been around a long time. As Pauline said in the introduction, it started in Greece. Lately, in the last few decades, mentoring has really arrived in America, or North America more so, and it's become a buzzword in many cases. However, my challenge, as I've said to you, as being in Toastmasters for 12 years, I've noticed it's there, but it's an orphan. And I would like to get it away from being orphan. Let's make it a foster child, or maybe even adopt it, so that we can make it much more integral in how we operate in this club. And that article I mentioned about the club in Ottawa has a mentoring committee. And we started with a mentoring committee about a year ago, and it sort of didn't go too far. And Ron, I know, had a lot of excitement and thoughts, and has a lot of experience and thoughts about this. You'll notice it says mentoring coordinator. That was one aspect from that article, again in Toastmasters magazine. And I propose we have someone who coordinates it. That person keeps track of who's mentoring who. And in their case, they mentioned at least once every 6 months, the mentoring committee would meet and discuss what's happening in the mentoring in the club. It may be more often, but that was, again, reading the article. And the mentoring coordinator keeps track of who is involved in the mentoring. Now, if you turn your agendas over, on the back of it, you will notice the Norvic survey from the VP of Education. And the 5th item down is, do you already, or are you interested in being a mentor or mentee and joining the mentor committee? So I would ask you, if you have not filled in the form previously, to fill this one in. Not now, but before we leave, and give it to Jan, and we can see who would be interested in belonging to the mentor committee. So please use the back of the agenda today. It's a double purpose. It gets Jan to know what your goals are, but also your proposed involvement with mentorship. The other suggestion that I have is that we have mentoring meetings where we discuss the various roles and how it's working. Where, for example, if Trent and Arafin, or Trent and Logan, or Arifin and Logan are working together, they can, at this meeting, and I would propose we have it once every so many months here after our regular meeting, those who are interested stay behind and we discuss how our mentoring is going. And Arifin and Logan could discuss what they're doing. And, you know, Patty and I know Mina lost her mentor because Susie disappeared and moved to Ontario. And we can discuss maybe Patty and for example, Mina are working together. They can discuss how they're working together. And we can learn from each other because we can say, oh, Arifin and Logan are doing this. I never thought of that. And when I'm working with my mentor-mentee, that's a good idea. Also, I did mention something previously that John Maxwell, who is a very well-known leadership trainer, who has won an award from Toastmasters, has suggested we maybe just don't need one mentor. We should mentor as a group. And I believe in that meeting, for example, if Pauline is saying, you know, I'm working on this project, could we perhaps do a round table mentorship for me and discuss my particular project? I would like to try that, to see if John Maxwell has something about group mentorship, not just one mentor. And if you look up mentorship and start studying it, that is acceptable and known as part of mentorship, having more than one or having group mentorship. So that is another methodology that we can try. So in the main meeting, as I've said, let's have different types of mentors as well. It says foundation and speciality mentors. Foundation mentors refers to, and again I'm quoting from the articles in Toastmasters magazine, etc. Foundation is somebody who's been here a long time and knows all the idiosyncrasies and the in and outs and the acronyms of DTMs and CCs and CLs that we use and can explain to a new member what those mean. And also a lot about the program. That's a foundation member. A speciality mentor would be somebody who said, oh, the roles in the meeting. If you're a grammarian, I can help you if it's the first time you've ever done that. Or if you're going to be a Toastmaster for the first time, I will assist you. So that's what a speciality mentor. So we can have individuals who say, if you are interested in using visual aids, I can probably assist you. Those type of speciality mentorship as well. And in the meeting, we would review the arrangements, make records for progress, and I'd say open to everyone. So those who want to attend this meeting after our normal meeting can just come and discuss it. So that's my suggestion. So to sum up, mentoring can be very powerful because, as Pauline indicated, you can't do everything yourself. A mentoring committee is something that I suggest we continue, and please volunteer. You don't have to have experience to be on the mentoring committee. You can be a new person. And we should have a mentoring meeting regularly. I would say at least once every 2 months at a guess, but we can do something. So lastly, I will end with saying being successful doesn't necessarily make you great. What makes you great is when you reach back and help somebody else become great. And I would say, oh, I said I would end, I pushed the wrong button. That's about mentoring children. That's another topic. Mr. Toastmaster.